We both know it. One of the biggest challenges of the 2024 fantasy football season has been finding a consistent tight end. Options have come and gone, but we still don't have an answer to this problem. But what if I told you there was a rookie tight end whose production has significantly increased over the past 3 weeks? And better yet, he's on waivers in nearly every fantasy league. Over the past 3 weeks, Panthers rookie tight end Ja'Tavion Sanders has averaged 5 targets per game. Even better, he's accumulated 110 receiving yards in his last 2 matchups. Even his snap count has shot up, playing 74% of the snaps for the Panthers in Week 7 against the Washington Commanders. The volume looks good, but does this rookie tight end really qualify as a sleeper? Can he save your fantasy team from a disastrous season with consistent tight end play? Let's turn to the film to find out. So we're just going to start off with a bit of Sanders' college film. I think it's important when we look at a player like a rookie like Sanders to take into account the fact that he's not a finished product yet. He's not a polished player at the NFL level. He's only playing there for 7 weeks, plus OTAs, mini camp, training camp, whatever you want to say. So through his college film, we can see a bit of what he does the best at, as well as his ceiling, and then going back into the NFL film to see exactly what has translated so far, what we can look to translate in the coming weeks to years even. So starting off with our first play, Ja'Tavion Sanders, number 0, the tight end, is lined up on the left side of the Texas Longhorns formation. They're playing against the TCU Horned Frogs, and we're going to see man coverage across the board. Sanders is matched up with this defender right here, and he's going to run up to the top of his route and then break off into an out route. And there are a couple things I want to say about the route itself, both that I think are good and can be worked on. But we'll start the play first to see how it looks. Ewers takes the snap. Sanders right here. I like that he's not leaning in the direction he's going to break. He's not really giving any tell to where he's going to go. The one thing I would comment, I'd like him to go even further with this, maybe even give a hesitation, a head fake to the inside, to the right, just maybe to throw that defensive back off their platform, get them to flip their hips this way, and then Sanders would have even more separation here. But I think that's where maybe he can improve as a separator, just getting those fakes in the routes, showing hesitations, and showing a lot more crispness as a route runner. The one thing I will say is that Sanders shows a lot of burst out of this route. He may not get the greatest separation here, but from a tight end, we see a solid amount of burst right off this plant foot, right as he breaks to the left. Again, you'd like to see a head fake, any kind of fake in the route, fake to the inside, but still solid burst off the route. Explodes outside, gets a little bit of separation. That ends up being a pick, I believe, for the Horned Frogs, and they return a decent amount. But that was an okay route. Again, we went over what could be better and what was good about it. And Sanders is a solid receiving threat. So again, you'll see him here, Sanders number 0. Here's the defender he's going against. He's going to run that out route up here when he gets up there. We'll see the play start. Motions Brooks. Ewers takes a snap. There's Sanders. And solid explosiveness out of the route. But again, you'd like to see more of a fake there. So right here, we're going to see a cover 2 zone coverage with a couple zones across the middle with the linebackers and these 2 deep zones with the safeties, both of these guys. Sanders, the tight end, is going to run a corner route right about here, right to the sideline. And what I'd like to see with this play call is having Brooks out in the flat, drawing this linebacker over here, which will increase the amount of space Sanders has here for this ball to be fit in, just widening the gap at this hole shot on the sideline with the zone coverage in cover 2. The idea is hopefully Sanders can get to the top of his route, run a good enough route to the safety, doesn't have as good of an angle, doesn't have as good as pursuit on his route, and there's a lot of space over here for Ewers to make this throw. Because the space on the sideline is stretched out, causing the linebacker to go down, and we have a lot of space over here, theoretically. What we're going to see here is that Sanders runs routes with a lot of suddenness, but again, we don't see the hesitation you'd like to see for even just a second to shake that DB off of his platform to get him to flip his hips like we said with the last play. Now, I will say this ball could have been placed a little bit better, but again, if the safety was shaken off just a little bit, there would have been more space for this ball to be placed, and it probably would have been a catch. So right here, you can already see Sanders at the top of his break up here. He's going to hit out to the sideline. Again, I want to see a bit of hesitation in that route, but we are going to see this linebacker again pulled down by Jonathan Brooks in the flat, so this space is widening right here. The issue is the ball placement with Ewers isn't that great because the safety isn't shaken at the top of the route by Sanders, so the coverage is a little tighter. Sanders, top of his route, and just a little too high of a throw. Safety's close in coverage, able to undercut it just a little bit. Make Ewers throw it over the top. Not a horrible route, but I do want to see more of a fake. Just kind of smoothly goes into his corner out there, but the safety wasn't really ever put out of position. And usually Sanders, who's really good at making those high point catches, would catch a ball like that. I'm not sure if it was the best placed football in the world by the quarterback, Quinn Ewers, but a big part of Sanders' game is going up and making those high point catches, so usually he would catch that ball. But again, solid rep, but could use some work. This next play is a solid example of Sanders' athleticism. He doesn't really have a great chance of ever really getting the ball in this play. We're going to see it's a screen to Xavier Worthy eventually. And A.D. Mitchell, the other receiver, is going to take some coverage downfield. Ewers' eyes just never really leave the left side of the field over in this area. But we do see the tight ends running some in-breaking routes up here. It's going to work out. Sanders is going to run kind of an arc release to give himself a bit of space. He's going to run up on this DB who drops back, bailing, and then break in on the kind of a post route. Solid break at the top of his route this time. I kind of liked it a bit more than the others. Even though the defensive back plays this pretty well, Ewers really wanted to throw that. I think, Sanders is the bigger guy, to be fair, and he does have the skill set to bring that ball down. He has a massive catch radius. There it is. Watch him on that side. Acceleration right there, and then a solid break. Even though the defensive back plays it well, I think it's a solid break at the top of the route there. Doesn't get the look, but solid. So in this next play, we're going to see a big part of Sanders' game here at Texas, what I think can translate to the NFL. He's going to be matched up in a pretty physical one-on-one man coverage situation, and he's going to work inside and then break this in-breaking route. Honestly, I don't like the route very much. He ran it pretty fluidly, and there wasn't really a lot of breaking on the route. There wasn't really ever like a sharp cut. He kind of just ran this more as a crossing route, which maybe it was designed to be, but it didn't really get any separation on it. But Ewers throws it anyways. And Sanders is going to make a fantastic catch that was behind him and with a defensive back blanketed all over him. That's a big part of Ewers' game, making those big high-point catches that not a lot of tight ends can make. He's got a lot of concentration at the catch point, and he makes a fantastic catch with a guy all over him. Ewers in man coverage right there. And, again, don't like the route. There's the break at the top. He has pretty much not any separation here at all. I'm not sure why Ewers threw this ball, especially with the guy open over here, but I guess he thought that Sanders would go up and get this, which to his credit he did. But we'll watch the catch. Reaches behind him, grabs it with that guy all over him. We'll see another replay of it. Just a fantastic grab that we'll see with a better angle here. Sanders, not any separation really at all. Ewers throws this ball. Sanders reaches back, grabs it with a guy all over him. Ridiculous catch. That is fantastic from Ja'Tavion Sanders. So this next play, we're going to see Ja'Tavion Sanders go a little bit unnoticed, which is a little shocking because of how big this dude is. But he's going to start blocking in line, and then he's going to break through, basically just freely down the field. He finds a lot of open space because defenders are drawn towards the flat and towards the route concepts downfield and in the middle of the field. So there's a lot of space right here for him to work. And I think he's blocking initially, but then he comes out into a route, and he goes completely unnoticed and has a huge gain in front of him. So props to him for finding a lot of open space, and props to the Texas coaching staff for scheming him open. So we'll see how that goes. Sanders starts to block right here. Then he breaks through, and we'll see right here you can see number 17 sprinting towards Jonathan Brooks because he looks open on the flat. And then these corners over here are drawn towards the middle of the field, and no one sees Sanders coming this way. He's wide open. Continues running. Ewers hits him. Tries to make a move downfield. Gets just tripped up, barely. Falls to the ground. And we'll watch it one more time. Sanders blocking in line on the right side. Comes across. Nobody on him. Wide open. Tries to make a move. Stumbles for like 3 seconds, then falls. But great job finding the open space there. This next play, we're going to see another case of Sanders being left wide open because he basically went unnoticed in the coverage. These two receivers are going to run deeper routes down the field, taking these two defenders out of the play as we see it. This safety is going to come downfield, more into the box, and this linebacker and the safety again are going to be right here as Sanders runs between them and then into an out route, and he's just left wide open. I'm not sure how neither of them picked him up. There was a lot of distraction in the flat again as the running back was in the flat waiting for the ball, and both of these guys bit downhill, and Sanders again just gets right past them, barrels through them, and no one's on him. Great play design from Texas, scheming Sanders wide open with a lot of these different route concepts. Ball snaps. Right here, Sanders just physically barrels through these guys right here. But they don't care. They're looking right here at the running back, waiting for the ball. They both fly downhill, and no one thinks of Sanders because they think they'll have help over this side, and they don't because both of these routes are taking these defenders downfield. No one sees Ja'Tavion Sanders wide open. He makes the really nice catch, high points the football, and gets some really nice yards after the catch here. Flips the field, stiff arm, gets around another guy, eventually goes down. Watch it one more time, and really just left wide open in that zone coverage, and makes a really nice job getting yards afterwards. So good stuff there, and good scheming from this Texas offense yet again. I wanted to take just 1 second to talk about the new Fantasy Trading Room official YouTube membership. If you enjoy our content, this is the best way to support the channel itself. Starting off with the sleeper tier, which is $2.99 per month, you're going to get a free 2-month trial with the pro membership on our website, which includes exclusive rankings, tools, and perks. You're also going to get priority replies to any fantasy football questions you have. And we're also going to have exclusive member emojis on that tier as well. Also, just want to let you guys know, if you put a fantasy football related question in the comments with one of those exclusive member emojis by them, we're going to start picking one random question each week with the badge by it that we can break down the answer to in each video we make. So if you want your fantasy football related question to be answered in a video that we make, join the sleeper tier, put a question in the comments with one of those badges, the exclusive emojis next to it. Next, we have the contender tier, which is early access to all of our videos and shoutouts in the videos themselves. Everyone's going to see your username when they watch the video as one of our contender tier members. And then finally, the league winner tier. This will allow you to request a film breakdown of any fantasy football NFL player that we will put on the FTR YouTube channel for thousands to see. You can have whatever player you want broken down in the context of fantasy football, and we will do that video. You can request that 1 time per month, but that is a huge perk in this league winner tier. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description to join the membership on the official Fantasy Trading Room YouTube channel. Hope you guys check it out. Let's get back to the video. So now looking at some NFL routes here, we have Sanders on the outside matched up with this defender here. He's going to try to run downfield and then flip his route back, kind of a curl, but he gets totally locked up in the physicality of the route. The defender gets hands on him, and his route is completely disrupted with the timing, and he's not able to get any kind of separation off of it. That's why I think he needs a bit of work on the top of his routes, showing a bit more snap on his breaks. Just running some crisper routes or something I think could develop more in his game. He is able to make up for stuff like that with his physical catch radius. Sanders, top of your screen. Play starts. Right here, just gets completely locked up in this man coverage up here. Just nowhere to go, disrupts his route completely, and he is not able to get even slightly open there. Here's another route from Sanders. He's lined up right here. This trips. It's going to be his own coverage, but this defender takes on Sanders, and he's going to try to run this out route, and I'll have a bit of criticism as he gets to the top. And I think right here, I think Sanders spends a bit too much time at the top of his route. I think if he's going to spend that much time there, he should give a hesitation inside, a hesitation vertical, anything. Tries to create separation, but really isn't able to get any. The defender's able to get hands on him, and he isn't able to get much separation at all, as you can see. Play back one more time, full speed, just get the full effect. So here's Sanders right here, and just not really any separation gain on the route. So right here, we're going to see a solid play from Dalton to Sanders. Mingo is going to take this defender upfield, and Sanders blocks for a second and then kicks out in the flat on a route here. He's going to be wide open, then he's going to bring it upfield with some solid speed. Just a simple play, but schemed wide open. But good stuff from Dalton to Sanders. We'll see it here. Sanders in line, starts to block, kicks out, wide open right there on the right side. Dalton finds him. Then some good speed to get the first down. Solid stuff. Also got to say, I love the number 0 on a tight end. That's pretty awesome. So again, right here against the Bengals, we're going to see what I was saying earlier as well. He's going to run just on the outside like an in-breaking route here. And again, I think he spends way too much time on the top of his route. I don't think he's able to separate really at all from this defender because he spends too much time at the top and then breaks in late. And the defender gets hands all over him and he's not able to do anything. And I think as he plays more and adjusts to NFL competition, he's going to be able to get more separation. But right now, he's just not a huge receiving threat in this offense. At the top of the formation there, and right there, just spends too much time. There's no hesitation, there's no fake, and the defender sees where he's going the whole time. He's already leaning inside a bit, and that corner is going to get all over him. Nowhere to go, but Dalton does find a great throw downfield to Deontay Johnson, but nonetheless, just not able to get a ton of separation here. This right here is what we're looking for. Sanders is going to run a corner route. He's going to come up to the top, match up with Stevenson in the corner here, stem off, and then curl it back. We see some really nice snap on the curl back and a solid fluid route on the corner itself. But on that curl back at the top, he throws Tyreek Stevenson completely off his platform as a defender, and it's a really good snappy curl. We haven't really seen that much for the film so far, and that's really good to see that he does generate that separation there. And even though he doesn't get the throw, a good separation there from the tight end. Again, he's lined up right here. Play starts. Dalton takes a snap man coverage right here. Good use of the hips inside. You see Stevenson thrown off a little bit. His hips are shifted a little bit inside, whereas Sanders is open to the right sideline. He's accomplished a good route, and we'll see an even better break on the end there. And then just cuts back really nice. See how much separation he got against Stevenson. And solid stuff there. We'll watch it one more time in full speed right here against Sanders, number 0. Good route, gets separation. Good stuff there, man. Good separation. This play, we're going to see Sanders run just a route into the flat. Dalton's going to scramble out of the pocket and find him. Sanders going to make a great catch, basically off the ground, and get some yards after the catch from the linebackers after they're drawn downfield from these downfield routes from the receivers. And there's some more space for Sanders to operate with. So solid stuff overall. Sanders starts the block, wide open here, middle of your field. Nice catch, basically off the ground, and then gets some yards after the catch. Doesn't let Tremaine Edmonds bring him down. Good stuff. I think we'll see it one more time. Sanders, number 0 on the right side. Basically picks the ball off the ground. Great catch. And some good yards after as well. So right here again, we're going to see that big catch radius from Sanders. He's going to run kind of an out and then in here in the middle of the field. It's going to be a really nice ball from Dalton above that zone coverage. Sanders just uses his large frame to go up and get it. And a nice catch there, so we'll watch it just real quick. Sanders, number 0 on the inside. Runs out and in. Big catch. Ducks under the coverage. Good yards after as well. So here we're going to see a pretty solid snappy route from Jatavion Sanders and a really good catch from contact. This linebacker is going to blitz in, leaving the open space right here for Sanders to run this little curl into. Noah Igbenogany, the corner, is going to be left on an island between these two receivers. One's running a fade, and then obviously Sanders running that curl. He chooses Sanders because you see Dalton's eyes flash towards him. And makes a good play on the ball, but Sanders just reels it in with those strong hands and able to bring it to the ground for a catch. A good catch through contact, and good job from the linebacker getting on Dalton quickly and making sure there wasn't enough time for him to make a throw downfield. Dalton takes snap. There's pressure from the linebacker. Snappy route from Jatavion Sanders and makes the catch through contact. Watch it one more time. Just watch Sanders, and really snappy route there through contact. Great catch. And then finally, we're starting to see flashes of the Panthers using Sanders down the field. He's going to run a crossing route and do a really nice job of not showing where he's going to break off. If it's a corner, if it's a crosser, eventually breaks off into the crosser and makes a nice catch from a good throw from Dalton. He's right here on the right side of the offensive line. The play gets through, and right here, you see him lean just a bit, and then he breaks back into that crossing route, getting just a bit of separation against that safety. That's solid separation there, and defenders aren't able to get back to the ball. Good stuff from Sanders. We'll watch one more time on the replay. Right here is Sanders, left side of the line. You see him lean just slightly on his route here, which causes the corner to backpedal, bail kind of towards the left here, and then Sanders going to snap back this way. Right there, solid route. Good stuff. So what do we just watch? Sanders, obviously a rookie tight end who's still adjusting to the NFL level. It's going to take time, and that's a fair excuse for some of the criticisms I have. I totally understand that. I know he's going to get better as the weeks progress, and I'm sure by the end of the season, a lot of those things may improve. So when you look at the tape, the profile kind of sticks out. He's a big dude. He's able to do some damage when he gets some space with yards after the catch. He's able to make some fantastic catches and high point the football, but he does struggle with separation at times. Also, I think it's worth noting, he's a pretty good blocker, and I think that can earn him snaps on the field. But again, that volume over the last 2 games especially is nothing to sneeze at for a fantasy tight end. But unfortunately, I think that's kind of going to be a ceiling for the year. Fellow tight end Tommy Tremble has been out the last few games, probably leading to a bit more targets in Sanders' direction. And I think once Tremble comes back, we're going to see a slight decrease in Sanders' targets. Also, I think Jatavion Sanders does need to work on his route running a little bit. It's not bad, but I think it could be improved, especially in that one-on-one man coverage, even though he is able to make up for some of it with that big catch radius. I think he can be pretty valuable to this Panthers team, but maybe just not totally in year 1, especially with the offense so dysfunctional as it is. And honestly, until further notice, I would just stay away from most Panthers in fantasy football, except for Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks. But honestly, I'm not sure if this Panthers offense is consistent enough to make Jatavion Sanders a consistent fantasy threat, even a bench piece really. In Dynasty, I think he has potential, but again, you're going to want to see him separate consistently. But again, he is a rookie. It's week 7. He will get better. Talking about just this year, I don't think Jatavion Sanders is going to be a viable fantasy option at any point in the season, really. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, go join the official Fantasy Trading Room Discord server with the link in the description. And if you're interested in the perks we talked about, go sign up to be a member of the Fantasy Trading Room YouTube channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Joe, and this is Fantasy Trading Room.